HD and Amphar Media podcast studio in Rockledge, Florida. Get ready to fight your way into the Josh Pit.
What up, what up? What's going on Facebook? Thank you for being here for episode number 5 of the Josh Pit. My name is Josh Doyle, and this is my pit. The main focus of this show is to really bring to light the music scene of Brevard County and everything that we've got going on here. I've been fortunate enough to be in the music scene from a young age, and I know a lot of musicians in the area here, and so the focus is just to bring people in and just share light on what we have going on here. And we started to pick up some momentum, and we're getting some really good acts in here. And each week, I'm more surprised with who we have in. And I've just been really lucky and fortunate enough to have these musicians in. And this week is no exception. One of my favorite musicians in the area here is on the show today, David Pastorius.
What's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Your bass skills have been something I paid attention to at a young age. I mean, I met you at The Hustler. I was 15, 16, started playing open mics there. You were hosting them, and that's when I got the first taste of what you do, man. And it's always just been a pleasure to watch you play and see, the different bands that you've been in and how you've kind of made your success as who you are and your name, so it's super cool to have you in, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. Likewise.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
So where I wanted to start at is, if people don't know you, Dave has he has a very unique style of playing. He does kind of like slap bass, but he also his finger styling and his tapping is what you would call it, right?
Yeah, I do a lot.
It's just a fusion of all sorts of type of playing. But he's definitely got a unique style, and he's played with many bands in the area here that I've seen over the years. Local 518 is something he still has going on. Phenomenal band. Made in China was kind of a short thing.
Yeah, but occasionally we all have done shows.
Oh, really?
We might want to do one in the future. That would be awesome. I've been messaging Wisney about it, actually.
Nice.
That'd be cool to do.
I got Wisney on the fan list, the friends list. So Local 518, Made in China. Elephant Gun was another good one.
Yeah.
So if you've been around the music scene over the years, you've definitely seen Dave Pastorius and some of the projects and stuff that he's got his hands on. And one of the first topics I wanted to talk about is something I'm not entirely sure of how you started in either in the area or if you want to talk about how you started musically.
Yeah, that's fine.
Total.
I started playing bass when I was 15.
Right.
And it's funny, like I've told this story many times, but like with the name Pastorius, people assume that it was like Jocko. Mm-hmm. And actually, had nothing at all to do with Jocko.
Yeah,
it's really weird. Like I knew Jocko played bass, but I didn't know what a bass was.
Right.
I was like, is that 4 or 6 strings back then?
Yeah.
But my buddy Sam Griffith from junior high school, I went to his house one day after school and he pulled out the Sears bass that he had, like a first act Sears bass.
Yeah.
And he started slapping the Chili Peppers version of Higher Ground.
All right.
And I was like, dude, that's awesome. What instrument is that? And he's like, it's a bass, dummy. That's what your uncle played. And I was like, no. And that right there actually sold me on. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
Right.
So saved up money and sold it. I think I sold my Nintendo too.
So get rid of these video games. I want
to get a bass. Yeah.
Nice.
I had a PV Fury for like $160.
Yep.
And that was my first bass, and that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the? I know you had posted some of the one of the first bands that you did locally here. It was kind of like a grungy metal rock kind of band.
Oh, you mean the first band I ever played in was a band called Fleshy Headed Mutants.
That's the one.
No, that band was awesome. That was Charlie Toro on guitar and vocals. He was like the leader of it.
Okay.
Jimmy Carlo vocals. John Wells who plays still with local bands around here. John Wells on drums. And at the time there was another guitar player named Dwayne Romig who was playing guitar. It was awesome. I wish I could find a CD of it or something.
I thought you had posted
I might have, yeah. I think that was MySpace. They had it on
right.
MySpace, but I gotta get.
There was something about a year or two ago that it was older music, and you had said that it was from like.
Wait, are you thinking of Nature Kids?
That's the one.
Yeah, after that was the Nature Kids out of Orlando.
Okay.
Or New Smyrna Beach.
Right. So you've jumped around Florida.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought you were mostly
Oh, there's way
here.
more bands than that. There's a bunch of bands I played in, yeah. Like local bands.
Yeah. But I thought you were mostly like Brevard County based. I didn't know you jumped around all around Florida.
Yeah, I mean mostly Brevard County.
Right.
But there was for the most part. I mean the only one out of Brevard County besides like what I'm doing now and stuff is would be Nature Kids, I think.
Right. Yeah, you did post that, and I listened to that. That was a pretty
a great
cool
band.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite bands I've ever been in.
Yeah,
to this day.
what genre would you describe that as?
I don't know. I heard somebody. It was like hip hop, but like good hip hop with kind of rock, metal kind of thing.
Right.
But it wasn't.
I remember it being more metal than hip hop.
Yeah, it was. No, they were like real legit.
Right.
But it was like some people called it like hippie hop. They're like hippies, kind of.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, yeah, I guess we'll jump right into it with a couple of the bands that we've already touched on, but Elephant Gun, that was a big one.
Yeah,
I saw you guys a bunch. One of the shows that I saw you guys at was I went to see Mickey Avalon at Levels before they closed that down.
Oh my God!
Yeah, a while back.
I remember that.
Yeah, and we went to see Mickey Avalon, and you guys opened, and Rex Goliath opened for him that night, and you guys were way better than he ended up being. Sorry, Mickey, if you're listening, but you guys definitely made the show, and then when he got on, it was kind of wah, wah.
Well, I don't know what he's doing now, but at the time he's had that one song. So
right.
It's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
the rest of the show?
The My Dick song. Yeah. Well, there's the other one too, the Jane Fonda song.
No, actually, my favorite song of his is called "Waiting to Die," though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Not familiar.
Actually, I
with
like some of his stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
different.
Yeah, we had. I mean, of course, the My Dick song was something that we all sang when we were kids because it was just a funny, stupid little song. And then, so I liked him. That's why we went and saw him. But my favorite part of that whole experience was you being there. And,
that was a good show.
Yeah, and you guys did a New Kids on the Block song that night.
Yeah, the right stuff.
The right stuff.
That was like a medley we did. But we
yeah.
bridged into a bunch of different.
Right.
We did Primus, New Kids on the Block, and like Creedence. In
what
one
a
song.
crazy mashup, dude.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that band.
That was Trevor Prince on guitar and vocals.
Awesome singer.
He wrote a lot.
Right.
Most of the music. I helped write some of the music, and Tom Van Dyke on drums, who's now with like Orangatanga.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, I know a bunch of those guys too.
Yeah.
From you basically throughout the days.
No, it was a great band.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor is like he was an amazing talent. Still is. I don't know what I don't really keep in touch too much now, but
yeah, Trevor. He used to come out. I used to do a lot of open mic nights around the area and stuff, and he would be one that would just pop up at places, and I'd be like, hey, you want to come up and play a song? And he was always he was very shy at first, like before he got going with Elephant Gun with you, he was always really shy. But once I saw him playing out with you, I mean, his guitar skills and his playing and everything and his singing and just how he opened up to the audience and stuff was, I mean, your guys' chemistry and anything that you're in, y'all's chemistry is awesome. But that band specifically, I really liked your sound and your vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of like southern rock, punk, funk.
Didn't expect that from you.
No, it was fun though.
Yeah, dude, for
awesome.
sure. Yeah, that was definitely a cool one. Made in China, which we've already touched on a little bit. That was a cool one. And anytime I see Wisney on the streets, I just yell out, "I produce beats!"
Yeah.
he'll just look around and be like, "I produce records." I hadn't seen you guys play since I was younger, and that lyric has always stuck in my head because it just got you vibed and it just got you jamming into the tune.
That was a fun song.
That was a great song.
I have no idea what he's talking about. But it was a fun song.
And that was more like hip hop, jam band, fusion kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And Alex Petrosky did the drums for you on that? And Al was your. It was basically
actually, that was Rich Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Played guitar.
Right.
On that, yeah.
Okay. And then there were two. It was Wisney, and then there was another singer,
Dylan Forsyth. Yeah.
Oh, that was Dylan?
Yeah.
No kidding. Wow. I mean, I know Dylan pretty well now, but I didn't know him back then, so I didn't know that was him in that.
Yeah.
Wow. No shit. Very cool. Yeah. So if nobody has ever heard any of this stuff before, can you still find Elephant Gun or any Made in China?
There's a couple songs on YouTube.
Cool.
I think. And there's some live stuff of Elephant Gun. As far as made in China, I think there's one video on YouTube, and maybe on Facebook you can find like when we played at open mics a while ago,
right?
And someone recorded the whole thing. It was
no
pretty
kidding.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it was all right.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I don't mean to bring old stuff up, but I mean, again, you know, I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of these musicians kind of grow and do different projects and stuff in the area, being that I'm a local and you play locally. So, I mean, I definitely wanted to touch on some of those bands because they were big parts in the scene and big parts of your musical experience and journey. So I definitely wanted to bring them up and preface those before we went any further.
Definitely.
Local 5, I always have said it, Local 518. Is it Local 518?
It don't matter to me.
Everybody says
I say Local 518. I say Local 518.
Yeah.
Some people, actually, sometimes I might say Local 518.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say,
matter.
I want to say I got that from you way back when you guys probably first started.
Yeah.
I got saying that from you and Evan Ratley, if you're listening, you know, he was a huge fan of yours, and he took bass lessons from you when he was younger.
Yeah.
And you've always kind of been like his idol
that's cool.
with bass playing.
Yeah.
And you know, we used to come out and see you guys a lot when he lived locally and when we were younger, and man, like some of the shows I would go out to see you guys at, it's the musicality of your bass playing, and then you've got Alex Petrosky on the drums, and Al, I always say his last name wrong.
Al Brodeur.
Brodeur.
Yeah.
I would say Border or something.
Broudoir.
Broudoir. Yeah. Try to go French with it. But I mean, seeing him and your guys' chemistry and everything grow from the beginning of Local 518 to where you're at now is just...
That's funny because actually before it was Local 518, it was actually called Pearl Bailey, which is really weird.
Huh.
But it was like, back then it was me on bass, Al on guitar,
right,
and Nathan on drums.
Right.
Drummer Nate
yep,
on
yep,
drums. Yep. But then when it was Local 518, at first it was, for a while we had Ken Page on keys.
Yep. I remember that.
Alex, Al, and then Anthony Darmana on percussion, who's playing with Orangutanga.
Right. Yeah, I know Anthony. Yeah. For the key player, you had him on the first album that you
second
guys
album.
Did, right? The second album.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And how many albums do you guys have?
We have 2 albums. Actually, we got pretty much a third album. We just got to finish it up.
Right.
I mean, the songs are all recorded. We just got to fix. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and they play a lot on. Well, we'll get to it in a little bit, but on your solo album, they play a lot of stuff on there as well. So very cool. Yeah, I mean, just kind of, I had Zeddemore in last week, and I was talking about their band, and Alex, your drummer, plays for their band as well. Yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah. I was super stoked to have them on, but I mean, that's kind of the cool thing about doing this is like I get to kind of geek out and like fanboy out when I have people in, because for me, y'all's music and just the music scene in the area has kind of made who I am musically. You know, I pick from a lot of stuff that I've heard and seen over the years here. I mean, I've always talked with people about you guys and you. Yeah. Anytime I get into music conversations, your name comes up pretty much.
Well, this town is pretty. There's so much talent in this town for being such a small town. It's like I've been to way bigger cities with way less going on. Yeah. It's really weird. For sure. I don't even know. It's always been that for years. Yeah. Yeah. And growing up, you know, I had seen it that way, and I was lucky enough to be in the clique, if you will. But I had seen it that way, and now it's just like it's kind of in your face, you know, especially with Space Coast Music Festival and Harbor City Local, and you know this Born Spencer and the other Steve, you know, they're just really doing some awesome things with the music scene here. But yeah, it is crazy to think of like all of the great talent that's in the area here. You know, you bring up Orangutanga. A couple of the guys, I believe they're still playing with them, but the Austin brothers, Caden Cody, they were playing with Orangutanga for a little bit. I'm not sure if they still are, but you know, from back in the day, their dad was it still is a bass player, Kurt Austin. Yeah, the Puzzlers. Yeah, the Puzzlers. Oh my God, like that was awesome. Puzzlers, Bone Tones. But I mean, like I grew up going to see them play at different places, like the reggae festivals they used to do and stuff, you know, and I was like 9-10 years old, you know, watching them play, and it's just a really cool scene, and it's cool to see a lot of the talent and stuff that's still here, still kicking, and
And yeah, man, I can't say enough good things about that. And so Local 518, I think we wanted to start with The Chase. If we can play some music while we talk. You guys are really just a jam band. No lyrics or vocals or anything. It's mostly music, right?
Yeah, pretty much for the most part. Al, I mean, when we play live, we used to do songs where Al would sing because you got to make up time,
right?
You know, like the bar gigs.
Yeah.
And but for the most part, like for instance, this song right here,
it's
just pretty much a jam and B.
Yeah.
But we, made a couple lines here and there.
Right.
But I mean, like when we first got together, I don't think we had one rehearsal. It was just playing live.
And if you listen here,
oh yeah, lame. I'm just kidding.
just to kind of give you a sense of the style that I was talking about with the slap and the finger taps. I mean, I don't know as much about it because I'm not a bass player, but I had never heard anybody play like you play until I met you. And then I was fortunate enough again to see you over the years and be like, oh, you've never heard Dave Pastorius play before? Like come on, man! Like you got to know about this guy. Your style of playing is just it's really unique and it's really good. What happened there? Yeah, so Local 518, you guys started back in early 2000s?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah,
'cause I think I was still in high school.
I met Al at a jam night at a place called the Antique Bar.
Yeah, I remember that bar.
Yeah,
and downtown.
And how really the beginning was Al and me. Al called me up to do some gigs like in Fort Pierce and Vero. We were doing like Jimmy Buffett covers. And
oh
stuff
wow!
Like that. You know what I mean? It was that kind of gig.
Yeah.
But during those gigs, we slowly start like during solo parts, we start jamming out on different stuff, and those became a lot of these songs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It was, like the band songs came together live.
Right.
Over time.
That's an awesome. Yeah.
So
that's
there's
really
a lot of shitty nights, but there's a lot of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I mean, really, that's how you figure each other out as a band. You kind of it's messing me up. I keep thinking like we're going in and out or something on the feed. Right? No, you're good. But yeah, so Local 518. So you started with Al, and then when did Alex get introduced into the band? I know he was super young when he first started.
Super young,
right?
We played a gig. What's it called? The Black Pearl in Vero, and I don't know if Nate could not make it or something was up, but we had Alex come down.
Right.
And
he's my age, and I'm pretty sure we're the same. We graduated the same year, so he was young. And my dad, when I was that age, he used to go out with me, and that's how I would be able to get into these bars to play open mics and play with you guys and stuff.
He was young and he was good, but he was just like wild, like all over the place.
Oh yeah.
At first, I was like, oh man, but it was like me when I first started playing. And it's funny. I think Alex would probably agree that Steve Thorpe. Playing with Steve Thorpe taught me a lot and taught Alex a lot as far as like, you know what I mean, laying back.
Yeah.
If you heard my first couple, if there's any clips of me the first few times playing with Steve Thorpe, it's probably funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just all over the place.
Well, I mean...
But Steve would turn around and give you the death look if you did anything more than a quarter note.
Like,
so,
chill out, bro.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah. But it was great. It was great to learn from Steve.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's what it is. You know, you got to learn as you go down this road. And I'm sure when you first started, you weren't crazy riffing like you do now. I mean, it was probably a process to get where you're at today.
Yeah.
How did you? Were you self-taught?
I guess you could say that. I don't believe anybody's self-taught though, because everybody sees people and they take from that. And they do things. But
people might call that self-taught though.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, as far as it's not schooled, like schooling. I didn't really
understood.
Schooling. I took a few lessons from, like 2 lessons I think from Chuck Van Riper.
Right.
And then after that, I had like a VHS tape, and it was 2 bass instructional videos. One was Louis Johnson, and the other one was Stu Hamm. And I would just like watch it, pause it, rewind it, and kind of learn that way.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I used to do very similar things. Like back in the day, it'd be like I would listen to something and then pause it, do the riff, then play it with it. So I completely relate to that 100%. So Alex got into the band, then you guys started kind of taking off. I mean, I know is the Hustler or Barus, is that still a thing?
I don't think it is.
I didn't think
I don't know.
so either.
I don't think so.
I was talking with Brad and John last week about how that was like the breeding ground for many local bands and for, I mean, just so much of the talent that's around today that might, you know, have been in a different band back in the day, and now that, you know, there's different joinings and different forces for these bands and stuff.
Absolutely.
So I mean, when I first started going to open mics, I don't even think Local 518 wasn't even a thing yet. No. You guys were you and Al were just running the open mics, and so you would sit in a lot. You know, when I would get up and play, and I would just do like cover songs. You never really did any original stuff or anything. But you and Al would sit in, and that's how the open mics worked. And then it just kind of became like this open jam band thing, and it just, I mean, I would go and just watch you guys play, and you would be up there all night, just playing with every band. Yeah, and you know, get up, you get told the chord progression
until Rich Jackson started showing up to play bass.
Oh,
yeah, and then a lot of times I would be like, I'd play the first set, and I'd be like, here's my bass, just play the rest of the night.
When I would do open mics, I would do the same thing. Be like, hey, I'm gonna do the first set, and then you this band, then this group, and this artist or whatever. So yeah, I understand how that goes for sure. Yeah.
So
yeah, that was The Chase from Local 518. That's a song again that I've heard for many years from you guys, and it's cool just to see how your sound has progressed and everything over the years. But you're still you've got your classics, if you will, or you know, your go-to songs that have stuck with you guys over the years. I mean, it's really what's made your name, because if, like me going out to see you guys, I kind of expected to hear The Chase and a couple of the other tunes that you know really are those melt your face off, you know, just really driving songs. So that was always really cool to see you guys playing those tunes. And one of my favorites that you guys probably still do is the Zelda.
Yeah, yeah, we do that. That's like a medley.
Yeah, because it doesn't go right into it. So at first it's just kind of...
That's on the first album. It's called Kondo Commando.
Right. Yeah, I
think a guy named Koji Kondo wrote the theme to Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
But it's a great song.
Yeah. I that's still floating around somewhere. I ran into that a few months ago, and I was like, oh shit, look at that. Yeah. And somebody else's album I ran into too, and so I'm just kind of putting them away, and now I know where all these little hidden gems are. But like for a long time to find that song and to find your stuff before really like the Spotify and all these social media sites where you can play music, I would go to YouTube to find that song in particular, and just to kind of show you guys Local 518 off to some of the other musicians and people that I'm just talking music with. Yeah. So that was how I would find you guys then. But now, you know, it's with social media being the way it is, you've got
crazy.
Yes. Are you kidding? You've got Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, anything. Yeah. And then in the podcast outlets, you know, you've got Stitcher and all that stuff too. I mean, it's just the content is just shoved down your throat.
Well, like another great thing. Do you remember back in the day, Play It Again Music?
Yeah.
Because that's where you had to go back then. For me, like I would find so much new music there. You just go in and like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah,
buy it.
Yeah, cassettes, records, CDs, anything.
Specs was there. Yeah, but Play It Again Music was like the spot.
That was awesome, dude. That's bringing me back. Yeah. I haven't thought about that place in years.
And now it's like you can just go online.
Yeah,
so it's cool. It's got its pluses and minuses.
Yeah, I mean it's just with anything, just with like movies and TV shows and stuff. I mean we're oversaturated. There's just so much content, so much stuff to watch. That's why I kind of stick to what I know and what I like. Going back to why I'm having you on, you know, I've kind of I've really digged you as a musician and a lot of the projects and bands that you've been in over the years. So, I mean, I was glad when I reached out to you that you were willing to come on because.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. I
appreciate being asked.
Yeah. Got on with all that. So Jocko, I know we talked about it a little bit before the show. Mm-hmm. For people that know the name Jocko Pastorius, that's your uncle.
Yeah, uncle.
And he was from the band name is leaving
Weather
me right
Report.
now. Weather Report from the 70s, right?
Yeah,
70s, early 80s. So was there any relationship there? Did you guys know each other at all?
I mean, I met him a few times.
Right.
I didn't, you know what I mean? That was like, let me think. Yeah, it was probably 2 times.
Right. I mean, you'd already stated he had nothing to do with your bass playing or anything like that.
I was 10 when he passed away. I started playing when I was 15.
Right.
But yeah. I just knew that he was a famous musician.
Yeah. I mean, some of the acts he played with and toured with over the years is pretty impressive.
Oh, and going back and listening now where I play now, or even when after I first started playing bass, within months I was going listening to everything Jocko did and just being blown away by everything.
Yeah. When I was younger, I would see you play out, and then I would hear the name Jocko. So this was at the early ages of the internet and things, and I would look up some of his stuff, and there just wasn't a lot of content back then like there is now. Yeah. So like now, I just type in the name Jocko, and Jocko Pastorius pops up, and you can get his whole wiki page and all that stuff. But he played with like Joni Mitchell and Pat Metheny, big names back then. So
Herbie Hancock.
Yeah,
and then he had a solo career of his own, the Jocko Pastorius big band.
Right. Wow.
Probably my favorite stuff of his.
Right. Yeah. And is there a lot of that content out or available?
Yeah, you can go on YouTube and find just about. I mean, there's so much out there now. I'm sure.
So, I mean, I didn't want to touch on that too much, but for anybody that does know the name Jocko Pastorius, it is the uncle of Dave. So, I mean, it just kind of shows that you've got that deep in your blood.
Yeah.
I know your styles were completely different, but...
There's similarities.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to deny that.
Right.
But yeah, definitely. I came in from a different... Like, my original bass heroes were guys like Robert Trujillo.
Right.
Flea.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Les Claypool. Yep. That kind of thing.
Claypool, that doesn't surprise me.
The Peanut from 311.
311. Yeah. No, those are definitely good influences.
Which I'm glad. It's a good thing for me to kind of come at a different... Steve Harris.
Okay.
Iron Maiden.
Yep. And it's kind of cool to see those influences, but you also, I mean, you play with a variety of musicians. You do rock, you do blues. You ever dabble in like jazz or anything like that?
Most people, when they hear 518, they kind of assume that it's like jazz, but I'm not really a jazz guy.
Yeah, there's a couple tunes that does definitely sound heavily jazz influenced, but it's more so just like jam band.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what people kind of equate it to. Exactly. So since they don't hear vocals or lyrics or anything,
and I guess jazz was kind of improv.
Right.
So I guess on some level, maybe.
Yeah, to a degree, for sure. Musical background we've kind of touched on a bit, but is there anything else you want to dig into as far as that goes?
I mean, as far as like what we talked about, how I started. Right.
Yeah. I guess we already touched on that. The next thing I was going to bring up was Tech Nine. And do we have that? We had that video, right? Tech Nine was something that was pretty cool. As an outsider looking in, because I saw you do the video at the local or the studio. What was the studio?
Studio 101.
Studio 101, and I saw the video you did. Tell the story about that. You just told me before the show.
A while, like years before I even did the song or covered it, I had an idea because I've been a fan of Tech Nine for like a long time.
Yeah.
So I had an idea because the way he raps is similar. I always thought to kind of the way I play bass,
right?
Like and so I had an idea to cover one of his songs, but instead of playing the bass line, I kind of match his vocals.
Right. Yeah, it's really cool.
And I told Brendan about it over at Studio 101, and I remember doing something at his place one time, and I was about to leave and go out somewhere, and he's like, "Why don't you stay here and do that song?" And I was like, I don't know about that. And he's like, "Yeah, just go out, or you could stay here and maybe change your life." He made a joke like that, but so I did.
Yeah.
And then I ended up. It's funny. No, it's funny because I remember because the family's friends with Robert from Metallica, Robert Trujillo.
Okay.
So I remember like one of the first guys I sent it to is actually the audio. And he's like, "This is great." He's like, "You got to do a video for it." So I did that and then sent that to him, and he loved it. And he's like, I was like, "Yeah, there's this guy Tech Nine I'm trying to get this to." And I guess Robert at the time didn't know who Tech Nine was.
Right.
So I was telling him a little bit about him. And then I'm like, right now, because at the time Tech Nine was doing an album with a guy named Ross Robinson.
Okay.
It was like the new metal guy that produced like Slipknot,
Oh,
Korn.
Wow.
Big
names.
Tech Nine was working with Ross Robinson, so I told Trujillo something. I was like, yeah, he's working with this Ross Robinson guy, and he's like, Ross Robinson. He's like, that's my neighbor. And he's like, don't worry, Tech will get wind of this.
I got you.
So yeah, it's crazy. So like a few weeks later, I start noticing on Facebook Tech Nine sharing my video on his page.
That's crazy, dude.
And then fast forward like a year or so down the road, Travis, the president, called me about a tour coming up and offered me to play bass on it. So
that's awesome.
That was it.
So would you say Brendan was his name?
Brendan Perez.
Brendan, yeah. So he's kind of right.
Studio 101.
Yep, Studio 101. Check them out. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But he was kind of right. You changed your life in a little bit.
Yeah,
in a certain
definitely.
way. You did 2 tours with them, right?
Yep.
And how long were those tours when you went out on the
road?
Well,
the first one was it wasn't that long. It was like 2 weeks. It was like 14 shows.
Nice.
But the second one we did was called the Special Effects Tour. That was 60 shows in 63 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time on the road.
But what's crazy is like my first show at Tech Nine was opening for Slipknot at Knotfest. That was their first show.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And what's even funnier about that
insane.
is like 2 days prior, I played a gig here. Like it was with this band Blue Fusion I play with, and we played like the Palm Pub. Like we played there, and then to go from there to like 2 days later playing there, that was just trippy to me.
Oh, I'm sure. Completely
cool,
different ups and sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But
they're both great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, not talking down any of them at all. And so at the second tour, that was a 60-day tour. That's crazy.
60 shows, 63 days, I think. And it was like, I feel bad for the crew.
Right.
Those guys got it the worst. I mean,
Right.
we just go up and play at the end of the night.
Yeah, they set everything up for you.
For like
you go
an
out.
hour and a half show.
Right.
But those guys tear down, set up, drive, tear down, set. It's just crazy.
Where did you tour exactly? Like
the U.S., all in the U.S.
That's
all
awesome.
Throughout the U.S.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw that video, I mean, it was pretty mind-boggling how you were able to play with his, like you were saying, you were basically imitating his vocals and playing along with him.
Yeah.
And just that contrast and how they played so well together. I mean, it made so much sense to have it that way. Is that how you played that song live too?
Well, we never did that one live.
Oh,
no.
Really?
It's funny because when we got there, it was all just the Tech Nine set.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really, at the end of the night, I would get a solo with them.
Right.
But that would be like, you did I forget what song it was. We soloed over a song called Speed 'Em, which is actually Eminem, Tech Nine, and Chris Calico. And we'd kind of jam the music for that at the end of the night, and we'd all solo over it.
Nice.
So yeah, but as far as that, it was just playing the songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you ever play with Eminem?
No.
Oh,
but
I was like that.
The song Speed 'Em, I know that I was in the studio at Strangeland Studios, and they asked me to put something down over it, but it didn't make the cut.
Oh, I was like, damn, man. Damn.
That would have been cool. But I did play, I don't know if you're familiar with Ritz. There's a song called The Formula.
No.
That I played bass on. You check that out.
Yeah,
it's my
for
bass
sure.
line.
For sure. We've got that song from the Tech Nine video. You want to play that real quick?
Name of this motherfucker is called Questions. Rough Draft.
Hello.
QD3 did the beat.
All day, all night.
What's up, everybody out there in LA? What's really going on? What's my question?
When am I gonna make it if I never hellish and devilish way? When are you gonna make a millions with the dividends? When are you gonna make and generate way? Who in the hell left the ghetto when did you wanna sell? Is everybody on the wavelength like us? Like we're ripping in half, we kick ass, we're back to the tactics like hop up the elephant. Can you wait a minute? Can you slow it up a little bit? Need it so I can get up in it. But did you really wanna dabble in fanatical, supernatural, literally radical, million minutes? I'm about to begin. Can I get some? Can I spit some? Which one? When am I gonna get off this trip? Can I take another pill? Why do I feel like I'm a sick individual in the room popping out with the lip? Do you feel me? Do you really? Did you get it? Do you want a real epidemic? Did you be relevant? What's the word? Is it absurd? What is that issue? What's it real? Is it real? What's it really real? Tech Nine in it to win it beside QD third occurred. Who's the worst? Who's Rasta funny? You never living, never sure. Slossy out the first fellow on the planet Earth. Do you wanna flow? What you wanna do? it's on like this, go like this. How can I break the obsession? In the middle of it all, when I snap back, set back, and ask myself, what? Why do you ask so many questions? When I stick 'em with another hit, the bottom of this. Yeah, but the pinnacle when I feel I'm killing this. When I stick 'em with another hit, the bottom of this. When I stick 'em with another hit, the bottom of this.
So that's you playing over the Tech Nine Jam. What was the name of that song again?
Questions.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, it's wild, dude. I mean, the way you're able to play along with him that way, like, it sounds super cool and just super unique. And
Thanks,
you all day, dude.
Thanks, dude.
Is there anything else you wanted to say about that video or anything?
There's not too much.
All right.
That's just, it is what it is.
Cool. Yeah, dude. There was a buddy of mine that I worked with when I was doing the plumbing gig, and he was a huge Tech Nine fan, and that's again how I introduced him to you, and then we went out and we saw you guys at we just talked Little Attitudes. We saw you probably a year or so ago, maybe two. We saw you guys play there with, and I'm probably gonna get beat up for saying this, Sounds of Nebula.
Where was this at?
Little Attitudes.
Oh yeah. We probably played there with them.
Yeah. What's their? Did I say their name right?
Sounds of Nebula.
Okay, I did say it right.
That's it.
All right, yeah, and that was the all woman band.
Yep.
And they've got a really cool sound too. Their lead singer, I've seen her play over in the area for years. Kind of ran in the circuit with you guys and with Alan and everybody and all them. So that was I had showed him the Tech Nine video, and then he was like, dude, do they play out locally here? I'm like, yeah. And my brother came in town, and we found out where you guys were going to be one night, so I hit him up, and we came and checked you guys out.
That was a Little Attitudes.
Yeah. Probably, I want to say 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably.
Actually, I'm going to be starting to do a like a kind of a jam night.
All right.
More of an invite night at Latitudes on Wednesdays.
Nice.
Coming up in the next few weeks.
And that's a really cool little venue.
Actually, if lately, probably in the past couple of years, like if I'm in town and I'm playing, it's probably at Little Attitudes.
Nice. Yeah, I know, like we talked about earlier, but the stomping grounds for you back in the day would have been, I keep slipping on the name, but Baru's.
Yeah.
So that would have
Antique
been Antique Bar. Yeah. So now Little Attitudes is your spot.
That would,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
My residency.
Yeah, really cool venue though. I mean, that area has really just turned into a really cool spot with especially with live music and stuff. That's actually where the Space Coast Music Festival is going to be held.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about that one.
Yeah. We're going to get on that here in a minute. So Pat Travers, you guys are headlining for the Space Coast Music Festival, which we'll get into in a minute. But we discussed a little bit before the show started. I don't think that was on the show yet. But how did that whole thing work out? How did you get in with him? For people who don't know, Pat Travers is he's a rock, blues, metal, if you will, guitarist, songwriter from the 70s.
Yeah.
And he's still playing now. And you're touring with him, slap at a bass.
Yeah, I've been about 3.5 years now.
That's
maybe
crazy,
a little longer, but yeah. Oh, it's a great gig.
Oh, sure.
Pat. Well, the thing with Pat, it was right after Tech Nine. A couple of months went by, and I found out that Rodney, who was also a bass player that lives in Melbourne, was leaving the Pat Travers band. So I called Tommy, he's been playing with Pat probably about 6 months longer than me. Okay. And I've known Tommy since my first band I ever played in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I called Tommy. I was like, hey, give me a tryout.
Yeah, give me an audition.
So we ended up going there, and it's funny, like I told you that I was kind of lazy and just figured he was kind of like straight up blues.
Yeah.
So like 3 days before our first like practice. I'm like, I'm going to start learning these songs. And I'm like, there's a song called Getting Better.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like rock prog with riffs, different riffs and changes and odd times and parts. And it's, and I mean, it's like, I was like, oh, this is not exactly what I thought it was. So I learned that one really good.
Right.
As good as I could. And then what was awesome was when we got there, I don't think Pat even went over the song. He just wanted to jam.
Right.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
And that's what
jump right into it.
That's like one of the awesome things about Pat, for like a legendary guy like that.
Right.
Like fearless.
Well, a
the
lot
way
of
he
people,
plays.
Yeah.
He'll take chances.
Yeah.
And I love playing like that. He'll improv. He's open to ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
no,
he's
that's
just
way
like,
cool.
He's not scared.
Yeah. I was looking at his Wikipedia, and a lot of people refer to him as a guitar god. Just as far as like what you're saying, like some of the risks and things that he takes and things that he does musically. Nothing but good things are said about him. I was reading some of his stuff earlier just so I knew a little bit more about him. Makes No Difference was one of the songs.
Yeah.
You guys play that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was his debut off of his album. That was one of his first big singles.
He says that's one of the first songs he ever wrote.
Really?
Because he got a record deal on a cover album, I think. He said.
Really?
And he said that he realized they're like, oh, you need to write some songs, and he'd never really written a song. So that's like one of the first things he wrote, he says.
No kidding.
It makes no difference, yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's a good tune. I listened to it before the show today.
Yeah.
Definitely a good tune. But like you were saying, though, like his music style isn't just something where you've got your regular chord progression and it copies and print. It's not like that at all.
Yeah.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, he's got some. Yeah.
Yeah, but his riffs. I was watching a live video of "Makes No Difference" that was from a couple years ago, and I could tell just from listening to the album version and then watching the live, like he just completely just riffed and just came up with something completely different at the beginning of the song.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
That's awesome. So 3.5 years with them. Like you guys, what has the touring been like with them?
Oh, it's cool. For the most part, it's like the weekend stuff. Like fly out.
Yeah.
Then come home on Sunday or Monday.
Nice.
Or like leave on a Thursday.
Right.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
It works.
How are the what are the venues like? Were you guys playing stadiums? You guys playing?
No, we do like a lot of theaters.
Right.
A lot of theater gigs.
That's cool.
Festivals.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. And Tommy Gunn, he's been in a lot of bands locally here too, right?
Tommy Craig.
Why did I say Gunn? Yeah, Tommy.
Well, that's what he wants people to start calling him. It's
right.
Really
okay, that's why I did.
I don't know.
I keep seeing it that way.
I don't know. I still don't get it.
Okay.
Like he's
rebranding himself.
People call him. He demands everyone calls him Tommy Gunn. He's been on this kick for like 1.5 years now.
That's hilarious. Well, you got one. You got one person. So he's been an artist in the area.
I'm just kidding about that. He doesn't demand people call him
Tommy Gunn. So that's not
Tommy
a thing.
Craig. No, Tommy Gunn is not a thing.
I swear I saw Tommy Gunn somewhere. So sorry about that, Tommy Craig.
Tommy Craig.
So he's been a musician in the area too for a while.
He played with the Scooby Doos.
Oh,
that
wow.
was the band he played with.
Yeah. No kidding.
He played with a bunch of people.
Yeah, my mom used to run in the clique with the Scooby Doos back in the day. I believe she dated the drummer Carl. I can't remember his name, but going way back when, I don't know. But I remember being at some of their shows when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she was very musically inclined and did a lot of bands and stuff back in the day. So that kind of started me with love of music from way back when. So what I mean, touring and everything, but like, what's it like playing with Pat? Like you said, he kind of is just off the cuff with some of his riffs and things. But
at times, I mean, well, he's really like for me learning the songs. Like, there's a lot of stuff when you're learning a song. There's certain things you have to match. You know what I mean? Like certain riffs,
right?
But within like the like verse stuff, he's pretty open.
Nice.
Unless I play something that absolutely sucks.
Right.
I'll be like, hey, can you do this here and try this? But
right,
for the most part, he's very open.
So just lets you do your own thing.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
Also, Mars Cowling was his bass player. And I wasn't familiar with Mars till I started playing with Pat. And Mars is like an unsung bass hero.
Really?
Mars Cowling was amazing.
Right.
I heard that like Geddy Lee used to sit around watching Mars play because they used to tour together.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
Wow.
But like ahead of his time, crazy ideas and stuff. So what I'll do is I'll basically, it's like me borrowing Mars a little bit here and there with myself.
Right.
And yeah, that's kind of the way I'm doing it.
Well, I mean, it makes sense to do it that way, really. I mean, since he toured so long with Pat, you know, just kind of keep that that likeness and everything, and that cohesiveness with their style and everything.
Yeah.
So that's cool, man. Like I got to give you props for that, dude. Like, I mean, I keep up with you and pretty much all the bands I've had in here. I keep up with y'all on social media over the years. We've been friends on Facebook forever. So, I've kept up with you guys. And Alex, your drummer, has actually toured with Pat as well a couple times, right?
Yeah, he did a few shows. Tommy broke his arm,
right,
like or something a while ago, and I think he like fell off a ladder or something. Someone put a bucket down, and he fell and hurt his arm, messed up his arm.
That sucks, pretty
bad. But he. That was weird.
It's a live show, man.
Alex came in and filled in.
Nice.
For a couple games.
Yeah. I saw a couple videos that y'all had posted, and I mean, again, it's kind of cool to geek out and fan out when I know you guys and see you guys playing with a big name like that and out on the road and stuff. So I definitely thought it was cool for you to be playing with him, but then to see Alex on the drums and a couple videos, like that's just that's where it's at, dude. Yeah. So what's this? All right, so I asked that. So one of the other big tours that you're doing right now, still currently, the Royal Affair tour?
That was a couple months ago.
Okay,
that was with playing bass for Carl Palmer.
Carl Palmer,
ELP Legacy.
Right.
Filling in for Simon Fitzpatrick, his regular bassist, who just had his first kid.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Carl Palmer, like I'm sure a lot of a lot of musicians know that name. That name is not ringing any bells to me. Can you fill me in a little bit?
Well, Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he was the Palmer.
Okay. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Palmer Gunn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but nah, he's done a lot of stuff. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I think their big song was Lucky Man. And check that out. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, he played with Asia too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah, that's a pretty well-known name.
Like Prague royalty.
Right.
Carl Palmer, yeah.
That's awesome. And other bands on that tour were Yes,
Asia,
okay.
John Lodge from the Moody Blues.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, big names.
Ron Thal, our Bumblefoot guitar player.
Yep.
Was on it. He was playing guitar and singing for Asia.
Wow, that's a lot of big hitters. I mean, one of my favorite bands is Yes. So when I heard that you were on the road with them, that was just super cool.
Yeah,
I wish I could have caught
some of that. It was who else? Arthur Brown, who had he was singing for the ELP Legacy.
Okay,
he sang on a couple songs.
Right.
He had a song called Fire way back in the day, which was like a hit.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Another one to check out.
Yeah. Definitely check some of that out. So how long were you out on the road with that tour?
Man, what was it? 2 months.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like 2 months.
Nice. Same thing, just all around?
Yeah.
Nice.
All in the States. I think we had one show in Canada, which was weird. Like just one show in Canada.
Huh.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time of the year was it? Was it cold over there? Or?
Yeah. It was cold. It was cold. Well, for me, it was cold.
Right.
To them, I don't know. It was probably like normal.
And I don't think I know this, but are you born and raised here, or where are you from?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Nice.
But we moved down here when I was like 3 months old. So I've been in Melbourne, Florida.
Right. Yeah. You're Floridian.
Yeah.
I brought this up on one of the episodes, first episode with Kristen, I believe. I'm born and raised here too. And
okay.
Somebody called me a cracker one time because apparently that's what people from Florida are called. Like natives to Florida are called Florida crackers.
I've heard worse.
Yeah. And her of all people, she was like, "What?" So getting offended for me. I'm like, "Nah, it wasn't a big deal."
Yeah, right.
I don't take much. I don't take much offense to that.
No.
So next I want to get into Radio Gold, but before we really dive into that, like what's your writing process? Because I know for you, a lot of your licks probably just come and you just lay them down, or you just work on them and then piece them all together. Like what's your process?
There's different ways. Like sometimes I'll hear stuff, and
right.
Mostly it's stumbling across stuff while I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like I play bass all the time, but I don't necessarily practice, which is something I should practice more, and I've been saying it for years. I want to get more into practicing, like,
Right.
you know, actually sitting down, doing the stuff you're not so good at.
Yeah.
But it's just like whenever I pick up the bass, I just want to like, jam and make stuff up. And
Right.
that's usually how stuff comes to be.
Right.
You know,
Makes
a lot of
sense.
times I'll get one idea going, and from there I can start hearing other things and coming up with different parts.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, if you if anybody wants to check Dave out on Facebook, he posts a lot of live videos where you sit with your bass and you just jam. And you know, if you sit and listen for a while, like basically what you're talking about now, you can hear some of the influences on maybe some of the songs on Radio Gold.
absolutely. Or you'll
and
hear
stuff
some
like
of the
that.
same, you know, it's all, you know, we all rip
Same
ourselves off
riffs,
all the
yeah.
time. So I
Yeah.
go back to same things I do, and
Yeah.
and then they end up, you know, becoming more put together, and they become songs.
Right.
So, yeah.
I've always been intrigued by the writing process of you know, different bands and musicians and stuff. And for you, you know, I've seen a lot of these songs that are on here being played out again since I was younger. You know, from you playing out from the beginning stages of Local 518 and stuff like that. So you know, a lot of that stuff has, you know, carried over into Radio Gold, which is what we're going to talk about now. Dave's album Radio Gold. I think you have the
Yeah, you got it.
yeah. I've got it, but he's also got it on the computer as well. I could probably look up here, but where did you record?
Studio 101.
Studio 101.
Yeah, Brent, I pretty much recorded everything there.
Nice.
He's like not talking about any other place bad. There's some
Right.
great other places, but
Right,
that's
right,
where
right.
I like to go. Studio 101.
Yeah, Rocky Water is one that we push a lot here.
Yeah, Rocky Waters is great too.
Yeah.
I've been there. It's Stewart's place, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm. Anthony Feda is very close friends with my boss Anthony.
Oh, okay.
And so he's also in the media field a little bit. So
Yeah.
they've worked with each other over the years, and you know, any people that come to us asking if for like music recording and things like that, we pass them that way. So
Cool.
So that's where you guys record. So tell me a little bit about the process of Radio Gold. Like how did it all come together? What made you want to put together this album?
I just realized I had a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
I just got a lot. It makes sense to put it all on.
Started. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've just been thinking about it for a while.
Right.
That, you know, you got Local 518, which is cool.
Right.
But I wanted to do like something that's with
Your own
my
solo
name on
stuff.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
exactly. And I just booked the time at Studio 101 and got in there and did it. And it was probably took about, actually for what it is, it's actually, you know, I think 7 or 8 months.
Really?
It's not too long.
No.
Not too bad.
No. You've got what? About 15 songs on
Is
here?
there? I
Something
think
like
there's 14.
that.
Or I could be wrong.
14.
And
yeah, sorry.
Alex Petrosky plays drums on the whole thing.
Nice.
And Al Burdur's on it. What is it? Pat Travers is on a song.
Nice. Yep.
There's a guy named David K. Matthews who plays keys for Santana. He's on the track.
I would have taken the K out.
Yeah. And then I got Carl Lewis played sax on I think there's 3 or 4 tracks.
Yes.
He kills it.
Oh man.
Yeah, Carl Lewis is amazing. And yeah.
What was it? Snake Plissken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays on that. What sucks about that is we spelled Snake Plissken wrong.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's spelled wrong.
Oh no.
It's not, yeah.
What is that in reference
I think
to?
it's 2 S's. Oh, the movie Escape from New York.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Kurt
yeah.
Russell.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't name any of my songs really.
Right.
It's like Brendan. He just starts putting names, and I've never really come up with names for songs for the most part.
Right.
Some of them I do, but for the most part, no. And Brendan, some of them just stuck. Some of the names, I'm like, sure, okay. Snake Plissken.
Well, we touched on Local 518 earlier and The Chase. That is a song off of Radio Gold. Now we're touching on Carl Lewis and his playing on Snake Plissken. Can we hear a little bit of that? And again, this could be one of those songs where people might think that you're more like a jazz band or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Especially because of the sax and just the overall rhythm and drive of the song.
I don't think he's on this song.
This is
That's how much I know my own album. He's literally hold on a second, man. Yeah, he's not on this.
Okay.
He would be on track 4.
Thunderfoot.
Yeah, Thunderfoot.
All right, so my mistake. That was
Yeah.
Snake Plissken, which is an awesome song, but we're talking Carl Lewis
And
right
he's
now.
on
so
Radio Gold.
Okay.
The last song, but yeah, play.
Play Thunderfoot though.
Yeah.
I want to have some of that groove on here.
There he is.
Yeah, there it is. Just sounds so good, dude.
I get
So
what you're
clean.
saying more about this one.
Right.
It sounded more like like Weather Channel.
Yeah. Definitely sounds like some. I mean, not trying to talk
little
trash
idea.
at all, but
Yeah, it's a little idea
maybe
in
some
a
of
way.
you hear in an elevator or something.
Yeah, fine.
but more.
As long as they pay royalties, I guess. They can play
Hey,
it.
nothing wrong with that, dude. But yeah, this is one of more of the just kind of slower jams. It's not like in your face, but just shows off the musicianship and everything in it. Super good song. And you can hear Dave underneath the sax playing there, playing off of each other.
Yeah. Someone just messaged me, you're a really good musician, but you don't like jazz. No, I don't dislike any form necessarily of music. I just don't really know much jazz music.
Yeah.
Nothing against it. No disrespect to it.
Of course.
Yeah. There's some amazing jazz musicians out there. I'm not by.
I mean, just because we're talking about stuff on here does not mean by any means we're slighting any of these other forms of music or musicians or anything. It's just open forum.
When I think of it
talk.
now, I think of like I don't have like the jazz, like the big book, the cool,
Right.
Like, I don't pretty much know any of that. I think I know like Footprints.
Yeah.
It's about the only one I could probably get up at a jazz jam and play.
There were nights back in the day of the Antique Bar and things like that. They would have nights where it was like jazz bands, jazz jams and things like that. And I remember going to one, and I wasn't very well versed with the guitar at that point, and I played a jazz night, and I fumbled my way through it somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then it changes here.
Oh yeah, I like this breakdown here. Now for him, was it a written part over it, or did he just ad-lib?
He just ad-libbed.
Yeah.
Over this.
So sick, dude. I love that riff, that trill.
Yeah, he kills it.
Ah.
I like this music. Yep.
More Dave here.
Kind of lame.
So lame.
So stupid. Look at me.
You can't even play. Showboating.
Showboater.
Well, that was the thing, though. Like when people would go out to see Local 518, that's what they would expect. They want to hear you do your thing.
Yeah.
But then you've got these heavy hitters in the band like Al and Alex. I mean, like all in all, like it's just an all-star band, dude.
Yeah.
Like with talent in the area, like you lucked out. I mean,
No, definitely. Alex is like my, and it's not just because I play with him, but he's my favorite local drummer.
for sure.
Yeah, he's one of the best drummers.
He would be
still.
my favorite local drummer. You'd be my favorite local bassist. Don't really.
Al, no, Al's amazing. Al's
No,
one
he
of my
is.
favorite guitar players.
He really is, yeah. And again, going back to seeing his progress from when he first started to where he's at now, dude, like he can wail.
His Vinyl Rescue stuff, have you heard that?
No.
You should get him in here.
Okay.
He's got some amazing solo stuff.
Really?
Yeah, Vinyl Rescue.
I just added him on Facebook, so I'll
look
definitely
into
check that out.
Yeah,
for
tell
sure.
him. I'll tell him to send you something.
Yeah,
But
please do.
Good stuff.
Please do. That was Thunderfoot from Radio Gold. When was this released? When did you guys put this out?
March 15th.
Right. Yeah, I
March
didn't
15th.
think it'd been a year yet. So just super cool. Did you play some of the album art and stuff on the inside of the sleeves and stuff? So just so you guys get a little better picture of all the work that's gone into this, man. It looks awesome, and we've got multiple copies here now. Thank you for that.
Yeah, man. No problem.
Dude, appreciate it. So anything else you want to hint on with Radio Gold, like anything going into it, or
Yeah, I mean, if people want to buy it.
yeah, that's important for sure.
I mean, I got if you go to www.davidpastorius.com, you can buy it there. Signed physical copies.
Nice.
I mean, I guess there's Amazon, all that other stuff you can get it on too.
Yeah, and we'll definitely plug at the end of the show. We'll do all of your social media plugs and all that as well. Yeah. But please, for sure, if you want to support local music and support David Pastorius, please check him out on his website and get yourself a copy of this. It's great music. Another one I wanted to hear.
Supersonic.
Okay. Yeah, let's do Supersonic.
Yeah, that one. If anybody could get that on the radio.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like a poppy kind of.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's 90s pop, but it's still.
I dig it.
You know that is singing. That's Brendan, the owner of Studio 101.
Right.
And Mike.
Nice.
His partner. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, this would definitely be more of like your tuned down like radio jam, you know, just grooving.
Yeah. It's probably here.
Yeah, it's catchy, dude.
Yeah.
So which one?
I'm actually playing a little bit of guitar on there.
Oh, really?
Hit it.
I didn't know you played guitar. You dabble a little bit?
I play like a bass player.
Oh, that was a comment I was actually going to bring up when we were talking about Jocko. I was like, you guys play the bass. You hold the bass the same way.
Yeah.
You hold it up high. You hold it up high.
I think he might have held it a little bit higher.
Really? Yeah, it looks like almost under his pit a little bit. Like it's really up there. Yeah, that's crazy. It's always been funny to me, being in the music scene and everything, seeing how people play differently. Because you know, you got like your punk rockers and stuff that hold the guitar like way down by their knees and stuff. And like, how do you even play that way?
I don't get that. That would kill your wrist.
Right. That would suck.
But you know, I guess some people think it looks cool.
Making a statement or something. I don't know.
That's cool. Robert Trujillo plays like that.
Yeah. Huh.
Which is crazy to me, but he like does this like crab walk thing the whole time on the stage. I don't know how he does it. Yeah.
I'm not familiar
but
with that.
But it's cool looking. It's
yeah.
definitely cool looking.
I guess, you know, add your own flavor to it, you know. But yeah, I would definitely say this and what was the other one? Got It Good are probably like two.
Indigo
like
Black.
Is
on that one.
Right.
He's
and
amazing.
I'd like to play some of that as well.
And that was Vinnie Marshall on vocals.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Which, again, we talked about this before the show. I thought that was Kristen Warren.
Yeah.
And, you know, even when...
I said, oh, yeah, it's Kristen Warren. And I was like, oh, no, it's not.
I was like, I just had a conversation with somebody about how that wasn't Kristen, and here it is, Kristen. And then you were like, oh, wait, no, that wasn't Kristen Warren.
No.
But yeah, I would say those two are probably like your most like mainstream, get them on the radio. Yeah. Like those could play all day long on the radio for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Have you guys tried, or have you tried pitching it out to the radios or anything?
I don't really have many. I don't know.
Connections need with it.
No, I didn't connect. I would love to.
Right.
If somebody was, you know, what is it? Native Noise.
That's what Iron Will and
that would be
Zetamore
cool
and stuff.
If anybody, maybe I should talk to them guys. Find a way to get it on Native Noise would be cool.
Yeah. And I was kind of thinking too, like we have you know, our intro song for the show that we had bought the rights for that song or whatever. But I would love if you had anything that we could use for our show.
Absolutely, just use it.
Okay.
Yeah, just use it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. If there's one you like, just use it.
Dude, that would be awesome. I mean, because I would love to have.
There it is.
Yep. These vocals are awesome.
Yeah.
And again, this is kind of like the jazzy kind of flow to the song for sure. But it's got a little more like hip hop feel.
Yeah,
absolutely. With the rapping and everything on it.
But like old school kind of like De La Soul kind of.
I like that lyric. None made it up out the hood.
Kind of a little bit Camp Low.
Yeah. Now, Indigo Black, is he local?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice. Like, I don't really know much about the hip hop scene around here. Is there much of one?
I don't know too much either.
Right.
I mean, I know there's some people doing it. I just know a couple of the guys.
Right.
Whitney, Indigo.
Yeah.
Actually, Indigo is Charlie Toro, the guitar player I first played with in my first band, going back to Fleshy Headed Mutants.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that Indigo Black is Charlie Toro's nephew.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Nice. How'd you meet up with him? How'd you get him on?
On this album?
Right.
I met him a while ago. He actually sang on a couple local 518 songs.
Oh, nice.
On the second album, but we never put it out. But they sound great. They sound killer too.
Right.
But no, I just hit him up when I went back in the studio.
Easy enough.
Like, Wisney's on the album too.
Yeah, I just saw his name on here. What song is he on?
That's how much I know of this. It's called Fake News.
Fake News.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've heard it because I've listened to this album multiple times.
Yeah.
This was one of the ones like This is one of the albums like you put on to do stuff. Like I love to kind of have stuff that will kind of I can jive to and clean up around the house, do yard work, anything like that. Not to say like that's the only time I listen to it. I listen to it while I'm driving too, and that says a lot to test to the music too. Like I think if I can ride for multiple hours in a car and listen to something and have it really just put a focus to my trip or whatever, like that's what I like to listen to. So I've had this album playing in the house for a few weeks now.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude. You guys, Zeddemore was on last week. I've been playing a lot of their stuff too. So it's just cool to me to have this stuff in the house and just be jamming stuff. Gotta keep it local, dude. I mean, a lot of people don't know the quality of stuff that's out here. Like a lot of my friends and stuff that have been watching some of these episodes, they're like, I didn't know like real music like this existed. Like they just thought it was gonna be crappy quality and whatever. I'm like, no, there's radio quality. There's really good stuff in the area here. And the more bands that are reaching out to me and I'm listening to them to get them onto the show and stuff, just to kind of get them an idea. I mean, there's just some really good stuff in the area here, you included.
So we said it's been that way for a long time.
Yeah. And I've known that. I mean, Derek Sumi and Damien Sumi.
Yeah, I went to school with them.
Yeah.
I went to school with Derek.
Okay.
I think Damien, but yeah, Derek, I know.
And I've known Derek since he worked at Garudio Records back in the day with Todd Sharon.
Yeah. Derek was in my first, we never played out, but like my first garage band that I ever played in. It was called PMS. And it was my friend Evan Mitchell on drums, Derek Sumi.
Yep.
So it was Pastorius, Mitchell, Sumi.
Ah, nice. It makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I believe Derek does watch in. So Derek, if you're watching, there's a little shout out to you there, buddy. We had a song called
"Your Mother Needs a Haircut."
How old were you?
Like 17 or something. It was one of the first bass riffs I ever made up.
Yeah.
It probably was the first bass riff I ever came up with on my own.
Right. No kidding.
Yeah. It was fun. I wish Evan, I think Evan might have a tape of that. Evan Mitchell.
I was just going to say, if I know Derek like I know Derek, he's probably got that somewhere on a file
totally
somewhere.
A different genre, but Evan Mitchell is amazing too. He has a band called Machines on Blast.
Okay.
You should check them out too.
Yeah,
sure. Maybe talk to him, get him on the show. He's local.
Yeah, and if anybody watching wants to be a part of the show, because I mean the whole point here is to have musicians listening and to get people in here to talk their music. So if anybody's listening right now that would like to be on the show, please hit me up at josh@ampfarmmedia.com. And you can also find us at Amp Farm Media Podcast Studios on Facebook and afmpodcaststudio.com. So you can reach out to us on all those platforms there, and we'd love to have you on for sure. So just shoot me a message. Now I want to listen to what did you say he was on? Fake News, Wisney?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we catch a little bit of fake news? And again, Wisney was in Made in China, and every time I would see him, I would scream out, "I produce beats.
Yeah.
I produce records."
Yeah.
He's got some energy, that dude.
Oh, absolutely.
All day long. Like even just running into him like out in the bars or whatever, like he's always just going, dude.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I just didn't realize this was Wisney. Definitely listen to this track. And that's a funky groove right there, dude. Funky.
Yeah, I like it.
Now how many people really live in a mattress? Or mostly in a phone on TV is what the fact is. Rocking through these beats,
it's almost like this rap part is almost like a Gorillaz kind of
exactly.
thing, for sure.
Exactly.
I dig it.
Right now, if you were dude, you be howling at the moon. Lost in the wind is my style now. I've been sleeping till noon for a while now. Get stressed out, yeah, take a deep breath. This might have been the moment you took your last breath, but instead we be keeping it moving.
Such a
humans like bees
sick flow,
flowers, stoners pass blunts and build up tolerance.
So I mean we touched on it a little bit, but musical influences.
Yeah.
Where are you at there? Like, what are your musical influences? I know you said Flea.
Oh, you mean like what? I listen to a lot of different stuff. It's well, for me personally, pretty much a Mike Patton fan.
Okay.
Big Mike, anything Faith No More.
Right.
You know, when I was younger, like Mr. Bungle's first album, that was the most important album I say. I can't say like best album.
Yeah.
But Mr. Bungle's first album is probably the most important album I ever heard.
Nice.
You know, so I like, you know, that I like. There's just so much out there. It's hard to like name. You know, obviously stuff like even like growing up, like 311.
Right.
There's bands like Shooty's Groove.
Yeah.
There were bands, stuff like
for sure.
that.
That's what I mean. For sure. Like anything that might have influenced you.
Well, like me and Alex are both 311 fans. You can even hear that in 518.
Oh, for sure.
You can hear it definitely.
For sure.
You know,
yeah.
all that stuff.
What else? 518 is on the
Chase. I think that's the
that
only
was the only one
tune.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on it.
Yeah, but Alex played, like you said, on every.
Alex is on every track.
Every track. God, that guy's I mean, both of you guys are beasts as far as like all the projects and everything you guys have going on at one time.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of music, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what's so I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but like, how is touring, like, as far as like family life and just, you know, strain on you, like,
I mean,
take it as it is.
I like touring's cool, you know what I mean? I mean, it sucks to get away from family that long.
Right.
But like I said, that's the beauty of the thing with Pat. It's usually, for the most part, it's just weekends. It's
quick.
You know, it's just quick. You go in and out and play, which is nice. Now,
right.
The Carl Palmer thing went out for 2 months.
Right.
And that was like, you know, it was pretty easy. Luckily, I got married.
Yep.
May 18th.
Yep.
And Natalie, she's like super cool. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of the drama I see.
I'm sure.
Being on the road, like when I was on with the Tech 9 tour, was you'd see guys constantly arguing,
right,
all the time back home, and I'm just like,
I mean, that's
Natalie's awesome. She's chill.
That's cool, man.
So,
Does she ever go on the road with you, or
she's been to some shows? She
nice.
gets. We've done like some of the cruise ship ones that
nice.
Natalie's got. There's one in April we're going on too.
Nice.
Those are awesome. Those are so much fun.
You play on the cruise ship?
Yeah.
Nice. That's got to be a good gig.
No, it's cool. We did the last one. I don't know if it was the last one. No, it wasn't the last one, but the second to last one I did was we went from like Sweden to Finland or something like that. Played 2 times on the ship and then went to Finland, flew back.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So what do you mean you played? Like, who do you play with?
Just a bunch of bands. Like the one we're going on, we did the rock. What is it? Monsters of Rock cruise.
Okay.
Or it's like you get on a boat and a big cruise ship, and it's like bands all day, all night.
That's awesome.
You got a few times you play. Other than that, you're just free to do what you want.
Right.
You know?
Free drinks, free food, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. I think I don't drink, but I think the drinking package, you purchase those still.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it is free. I'm not sure.
Have you never drank?
No, I used to drink.
I thought so. Yeah, I thought so.
That's why I don't drink.
Right. Yeah, me too. I'm going on 3 months.
Oh, good for you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was last time I drank was 23. I was 23, so
wow,
about
long time.
I don't know, 23. Yeah, coming up on 20 years.
Wow. All right, so I never would have seen you drinking.
Yeah.
I guess I just assumed.
Nah, I was an idiot.
Oh.
I'm lucky I got teeth. Like, no, seriously, like I was just an idiot. I can't drink. I don't have an issue with drinking. I just have an issue with me drinking.
Right. And that's where I'm at too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people can drink around me. I still have booze in my house and things like that. It's just, I don't do it.
Because honestly, even as a local musician, you're pretty much an alcohol salesman.
Yeah.
That's what you are.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
I mean, you're just in bars and stuff all the time. So I mean, you're constantly around it.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Do you like my arm hair? I don't remember writing that one. What's your favorite song to play out live?
You want to go back to that question?
Yeah, please. What do you think?
It's all right.
Okay. I mean, I forgot my my arm hair comb at the house. So, for people who don't know, I write all of my questions on Note, and I involve Anthony and my whatever guest comes in for the week. I involve them all in the notes, and Anthony likes to take upon himself to write random questions and see if I read them on air. So there you go. Did you mark the time on that so we can use it as a as a promo? What's your favorite song to play live?
And I mean, this can go or just in general.
In general. Let's go in general.
Well, it's usually a current one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Something
I'm playing with
new.
Pat now. Pat has some new music.
Okay.
That we've actually got to help.
So he's still writing.
Oh, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
sounds
awesome.
great. He's going to be putting out. Well, he just put out a swing album.
Really?
of jazz big band songs. I played on 4 of the tracks that are on it, and Tommy Craig played on 4.
Nice.
And we've been recording a new actual Pat Travers album.
So you're going to be
yeah.
on his album.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
And there's a song called Racing the Storm, which is actually on YouTube. There's
Okay.
a video for it. You can check it out now.
Right.
So that's one of my favorite ones to play live.
Nice.
Actually, it's funny. We do a cover of a Ray Charles song called "I've Got News."
Okay.
And it's for me, I enjoy it because it's so basic.
Right.
So it's like sometimes when people see me play it and they're expecting something else, it's like, see, I can play quarter notes too. Like, it's a fun song to play. It's just a cool tune.
Right.
It's a slow blues.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those progressions with just like the easy walk downs, the quarter notes and everything. I mean, it can be impactful in a song, you know?
Well, like when a lot of the times I'd say that to like people that see me like doing all the slap stuff or
Right.
whatever, this or that, I say, don't worry, I play bass too.
Yeah, I mean, because it's almost like you're playing guitar. I mean, you really played the bass like a guitarist.
Yeah.
With as far as like the dexterity of your fingers
Yeah.
and how quickly you can get up the fret and down the fret and stuff. Like, I still have never seen anybody play like you do. I mean, and going back to Evan Ratley, like one of his favorite bassists is Victor Wooten,
Yeah.
and I mean, he's phenomenal as well. But
Yeah.
like, still, you're both different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And
There's so many guys out there now too that are just insane.
Right.
You got to look up Cody Wright.
okay.
Cody Wright, I did a show with. We might even do some recording in the future. That would be great.
That'd be awesome.
He plays with a pick.
Oh,
He's
really?
a pick bassist.
Yeah.
The guy's just like when he starts soloing, I'm like, nope, I don't want to solo.
Really?
Nah,
Really? Because I imagine a lot of people feel that way with you.
maybe. I honestly think that's one of my weaker points.
Really?
Yeah, that's one of the ones I'd like to. And it's not because of if it comes to like slapping and stuff like that, like the rhythmic side. I
Right.
feel good.
Yeah.
But and I'm learning more like scale modes, theory type stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. I would not have guessed that
Nah.
with the way you play and how confident you are up on the stage.
Well, we're our own biggest critic, so that's
Well,
just me.
Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that all day long. All right, Space Coast Music Festival.
Yeah.
This is basically started because of that. No, I mean, not the podcast studio, but the Josh Pit
Yeah.
has basically started because of that. I am friends with Born Spencer, and he reached out to me about some plumbing stuff. And then in that conversation, he's like, you wouldn't happen to have like 30 minutes of original stuff you could do coming up here in November 2nd. And I was like, yeah, probably, sure. So then he gave me a slot, and then as I was looking through the list of all the bands and stuff, I was like,
Yeah.
well, I know you, I know all the guys from Zeddemore and a bunch of other bands and Alex Petrosky and everything, and so I was just kind of like, well, I wanted to bring. I didn't know Anja was playing too.
Who?
Anja?
Oh, who was
Anja?
that? Who was I playing too?
Was that?
Who was I playing?
Oh yeah.
Tommy Gunn.
Max Overdrive, 1986, Hot Dog Force, which I will have Mike Diotropa on the show. I'm probably going to get him in after the Space Coast Music Festival.
Dude, that commercial, that thing Nathan put up is hilarious.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Nathan
I
Thorpe.
messaged him. I said, "Why are we closing the show? Why is Hot Dog?" But the Hot Dog Force should be headlining this.
They're a
thing.
freaking riot,
Yeah.
dude. Like, I don't know whether to take them seriously or not,
Yeah.
and that's partially why I love it so much. But I completely lost where I was at there. but yeah, some of the other bands and stuff that you see up on the list here, that's what got this going. Was I wanted to bring a couple of the artists that I've already had on the Josh Pit. I wanted to bring them on our other podcast, which is more like a comedic show where we just talk about whatever we want to, open format. And immediately I had like four bands booked.
Yeah.
And Anthony was like, well, I don't know if I want to do it on here. I think that it should be its own format and it should be its own show. So that's how the Josh Pit came to life. And then within 3 or 4 days, we had the domain bought. We had everything. We had,
That's awesome.
We had everything built, and we started making content that following Monday. We had the conversation on a Friday, and on Monday we were doing our first 2 shows.
Oh, cool.
So Space Coast Music Festival is really where this has grown from, and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. This is just something now I think that hopefully will be a staple that local local musicians and bands and stuff want to come on here either when they're passing through or just people that are native here want to come on the show. So.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thanks,
great
man.
Setup, dude.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, we put a lot of work into it, and this was a dream of Anthony's, and we're here a few months later. So, what's your involvement? I mean, I know you guys are headlining. You guys are the last band of the festival, which is pretty huge.
Yeah, I guess Pat Travers' band. We're playing Saturday. I don't know what time Saturday though.
I would imagine later on
probably
in the
like
evening.
8 or 8:30.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something like that. I could be wrong. During the day though, I'm going to be down there doing some sets and stuff over at Little Latitudes.
Nice.
So
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
And there's some stuff going on there. Do a little show or jam session. I'll be selling CDs of mine there.
Nice.
Too.
Yeah, so look out for him at Little Latitudes on the 2nd during the day.
Are you bouncing back and forth whenever,
Right. Right.
Are
you going to be playing there with Nathan?
Yeah, I think so. I think Nate will come out.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for anybody who doesn't know, Nathan, isn't his last name Nathaniel?
No, Nate.
I swear he was messing with me then.
No, Nathan. It's Nathan Nicholas.
Nathan Nicholas. All right.
He's Jack Nicholas' son.
Oh, good to know.
I'm just kidding about that too.
Oh, all right.
But Nathan Nicholas.
I figured as much.
No.
You're not going to get me again, Dave. Actually, his last name is Gunn.
Nathan Gunn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Nathan Nicholas, great drummer.
Yeah,
awesome.
dude. I mean,
great jam drummer.
Yeah, I've seen him again just from back at the Hustler days and things like that. I remember seeing him play a set dressed as a chicken. He was in a chicken costume, playing the drums, coming off just dripping sweat, just profusely. I'm like, what the hell?
He used to have all these
doing?
weird characters he'd make up.
I remember that.
Paper face.
Yeah.
That thing. Yeah,
just totally bizarre, dude.
He's very talented.
Yeah,
very talented.
Phenomenal drummer. And
carpenter, amazing. That's what people don't know. He's an amazing carpenter.
You were telling me about some of the woodwork and stuff that he does. I would not have known that about him. Space Coast Music Festival is a big thing, and I'm glad to be a part of it now. The other Steve, not Spencer, but the other Steve that's heavily involved in this. His last name is fleeting me right now. He reached out to me on Instagram.
Keller?
Yes, thank you,
Keller.
Stephen Keller. He reached out to me on Instagram and thanked me for the promoting the show and everything. I'm like, no, dude, thank you. Like the Brevard needs this. You know, like people need to know what's out here. I mean, that's the focus of the show, but I feel that it's also heavily the focus of the music festival is to kind of showcase everything that's here. You guys, all these countless amounts of bands and stuff as well that they booked. I mean, it's upwards of like 75 bands or something that's going to be playing out there. I mean, there's like 6 stages,
That's crazy.
And Spence said he was even trying to still like figure out like if bands were still asking to play, he's still trying to figure out a place to put them.
Wow, that's cool.
I'm like, that's nuts, dude.
That's awesome.
So I mean, Harbor City Local and Space Coast Music Festival and everything they've got going. I mean, it's really just the main reason that we're here now and that this is going on. So they've got some really good things going on. If you ever see any of their productions or bands or anything out, go and check them out, please. It's important. It's important for the music scene here and for the musicians that are doing it. I already talked about idols and influences. I was kind of curious, and we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but what's your favorite style to play? I mean, I know you do the slap and everything, but what's your favorite style of music, like rock?
I actually listen to a lot of hip hop music.
Right.
A lot of that and
I
some
get
metal.
That. Yeah, I get that for sure.
As generic as I could say, I guess rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, rock is very vast. It's very it can be all over the place for sure.
Yeah. But stylistically, I mean, whatever works for the song.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah. Hey, that works.
Yeah.
Favorite local band? Or bands. You can go plural if you want. Not to single anybody out.
But the thing is, though, I don't really get out that much.
Well, I just
which
figured.
Is good.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just figured playing.
Zeddemore, I've heard. Zeddemore is amazing.
Yep.
I'm real curious to see the Hot Dog Force.
Yep. I've checked them out on Spotify. It's fun. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, but it's as far as I'm not really the best judge for that,
Right.
Because I'm not out enough
Gotcha.
lately.
Hey,
But
fair enough.
definitely Zeddemore I've heard, and Zeddemore is killer.
Right,
Those
right.
guys are cool.
And then, of course,
If I look at the list, I'll be like, man, why didn't I say that? but I'm sure there's tons of great music.
yeah, I guess, I mean, we're kind of getting to the point where we're going to be dying down here. What do you got upcoming?
Just some shows with Pat coming up, and looking to get out more with 518,
Nice.
Local 518, and start doing some shows. I want to start booking my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I want to start doing, or booking for the Radio Gold.
For sure, yeah. I was going to ask
Stuff,
you,
yeah.
how are you really trying to push that out?
Yeah.
Just
I got a
figuring out as
couple
it
people
goes.
trying to, plant some seeds and try to get it would be great to start out doing getting out of town, doing 3 shows,
Right.
come back,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
For sure.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much this would help now, but like we were talking about earlier, if I could use some of your music for our intros and outros,
Absolutely, yeah.
that would be a way to plug you guys for
Any
sure.
way you want to use it, use it.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. So next week we might have a different intro. But I mean, that's so cool that you're down with that, dude, because I've been thinking about asking you that since I booked you on the show. So that's
cool. I appreciate that.
I appreciate it,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, again, your music career and in the area and here has always been very fascinating to me. I've always kept up with you guys and everything you've got going on, so I'm glad to be a part of it, and I'm glad to see you doing your thing, man.
Oh,
for
man,
sure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. And we touched on that you had just gotten married back in March. May, sorry. Got married back in May. So how does the family
It's
and
funny
music
because
thing?
May 18th, and it wasn't even planned, but it's 518.
Oh,
I was like, oh, that's cool.
no kidding. Yeah, sure you didn't plan that.
No, seriously, that was the date. That was the date the priest had open.
No
At
kidding.
the time, yeah.
That's
It was in
awesome.
between, yeah.
That's
That was
awesome.
the best date.
So how is family life and music? Like, how does that work? I mean, I know you said she's super cool with you
Yeah.
touring and everything, but with the kids and everything too. Like, how does that work?
It works. No, it does.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's got to work, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could, everyone's pretty helpful and supportive.
Nice.
So it works out. And Natalie is awesome, and she helps a lot with that when I'm
Very
not
cool.
around.
Very cool.
She does a lot.
Nice. Now, I'm assuming this was your mom that friended me on Facebook as well. But does she help out with the family?
How long ago?
Oh, this was back when I first started booking you on the show.
Oh, really?
Booking you on the show, yeah. It was a little while back.
Like you talking years ago?
No.
Yeah.
Within the past couple weeks.
No, my mom died like
Oh, my God.
coming up in March of 2
Well,
years.
that's horrible.
Thanks a lot, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, she did die. She did.
Oh,
No,
my
she
God.
did die. That's not funny. No, you got me laughing. It's not funny, but no, she died a couple years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, there was a Pastorius that friended me, so I
Was
just
it-
assumed it was your
Was
mom.
it now my sister? No,
Okay.
April, Mary. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Natalie?
Now I regret bringing you up in
Natalie?
the first place. No, I know
If it's
I know
Natalie, then
Natalie,
yeah,
but no, that
no.
wasn't who it was. No.
No.
Let's just let's get off of
You
that.
thought
one.
you thought I was joking about my mom dying at first.
I never know
No,
here.
she did.
I
She
never know
passed
here.
away. She passed away of it's cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
dude.
it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a weird segue. Any other things going on with you, news-wise, or plugs that you want to do? Like, where can people find you on social media and stuff?
Instagram at David Pastorius, Facebook, website davidpastorius.com.
DavidPastorius.com.
I think that's about it right now. I don't really mess with Twitter too much, so no.
Nice.
But I think that's all I got right now.
Cool.
Oh wait, I got what's it called? SoundCloud. Natalie set up a SoundCloud for me.
Okay.
So there's David Pastorius.
Spell it.
Oh, my name?
Yeah.
Yeah, for just
David.
people that are listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah. David D-A-V. No, I'm just kidding. Pastorius. Pastorius.
That's a good thing to know because
I know because everybody misspells it. You're right.
Oh,
about
I'm
that.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
P-I-I-O-U-S.
It's funny because like after typing all this out on my phone, like now I'll spell something with a PAS and Pastorius will come up every
Yeah.
time
Yeah,
because I've been
that's
typing
crazy.
it so much, but I make sure to get it right. Well, dude, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. And
Likewise.
I'd like to have you on again to talk anything in the future that you have going on, or even have any of your other projects or anything. Is there anything else that I missed, or anything else you wanted to talk about before we?
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
You know what were you gonna say? I'm sorry. I was totally checking something.
No worries,
My
dude.
dad's been calling a few times. I'm just curious.
yeah. I just definitely want to check to make sure. He's
Yeah.
probably calling to yell at me now about
No,
that comment.
no. My mom would have laughed at that.
All right.
If for anybody, yeah.
Well,
my
thank
mom,
you.
my mom was awesome. So yeah.
Well, that's good. At least she had a good sense of humor about it.
Oh yeah. You got to.
But is there anything else you wanted to? Anything else we didn't touch on, or you want to promote or anything before we get going?
I would just say, yeah. If album is
Yep.
for sale. We already talked about
Yep,
that. Keep an eye out for probably start playing out with Local 518 again here soon.
Nice.
Keep an eye out for Pat Travers.
Yep.
And that's it as of right now.
Cool, man.
There's a couple things going on, but I'm not really going to talk about too much yet till I know more about
Right.
it. So.
And once those things come to light, you
Yeah.
can come back on and we can talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. I would
For
love
sure.
to. It's a great show.
Yeah, if Local 518 is going to be dropping another album, we'd love to have everybody in.
Yeah, that'll be that's a good idea. Actually, we should
Yeah.
do that sometime because
For
I think
sure.
that's going to be coming soon too.
That'd be
Also.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I've known all you guys for years, so I'd love to have you guys
Yeah,
in
man. Thank
and
you.
talk. And for everybody at home too, if he's cool with it, I'm gonna have Dave sign all of these, and we might figure out a way to either give them out as a raffle or something, and something up and coming, or try to make him a little bit of money or something. We'll figure it out.
No, you give them out.
We'll give him out. That's even better. Well, again, guys, thanks, Dave, for being here, man.
Thank you,
it was a
guys.
pleasure, dude. And we'll have you on again in the future. And for everybody watching, this was episode 5 of the Josh Pit, and we'll be back next week. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you then.
See it.
See you.